Plays out. Thanks, Elise. Turning now to the debate over gun control. The Oregon House will consider a bill banning guns from the Capitol and other state buildings. The bill passed in the Senate 16-7. The bill would also allow local jurisdictions to decide if people with a concealed handgun license can bring guns into public buildings. If passed, anyone caught with a weapon on prohibited public space could be found guilty of a Class C felony.
Joining us live this morning now to kind of break down what this bill would mean for Oregon gun owners is Penny Okamoto, Executive Director of Ceasefire Oregon. Good morning, Penny.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Tell us, first of all, what Oregon's current gun laws are as it stands to concealed handgun licenses.
So right now, I think one of the most important things for people to know about concealed handgun licenses in Oregon is the lack of training. So a concealed handgun license applicant in the state of Oregon is not required by state law to even own a gun or touch a gun to actually receive a concealed handgun license. So Ceasefire Oregon Education Foundation is very concerned about the lack of training that people have when they get what we call a CHL or concealed handgun license.
So if this new legislation were to pass, what would this mean for Oregon gun owners?
Really what it would mean is that they would not be able to take their firearms into certain locations, maybe the state capitol building. I know that the Port of Portland, which controls the Portland International Airport, is concerned about reducing the number of people who are carrying guns into their entryway and their terminal. This would not stop people from dropping off or picking up passengers, and certainly wouldn't stop people from dropping off or picking up their kids at school.
Now, we've had some court reviews on cases like this. The Ninth Circuit Court says that carrying guns in public is not a constitutional right. How would this affect Oregon?
Right, so that you're talking about a Supreme Court, excuse me, an appeals court ruling that actually just came about regarding a case, I think it's Young v. Hawaii, that occurred in Hawaii. It was about whether or not people can carry firearms, whether or not it's a constitutional right to carry firearms in public. According to the Heller decision, the Supreme Court said that guns are a right to have in the home, but they didn't really talk about whether or not there could be a right to have one in public. So I think that decision is a little way out yet. I don't know how it's going to play in. It's really impossible to tell right now.
So Penny, this conversation here in the state of Oregon is happening too at the same time that we're having this federal discussion. President Biden now saying he wants to strengthen background checks. He's calling on Congress to act on this. We see this debate every time there is a mass shooting in this country. We have this conversation in Washington. Recent polling shows the majority of Americans do support an enhanced background check system. What do you think it's going to take to actually get some change on the federal level to this process?
Well, on the federal level, it's going to take, I think, a big change in Congress. Because, as you said, I mean, even more than 80% of gun owners support background checks for all gun sales. Now, Oregon actually already has that law. We require background checks for almost all gun sales and transfers, except for some temporary transfers and transfers or sales within immediate family members. And it's very effective, but it's what we call necessary but not sufficient. What really would be sufficient is licensing. Studies show that licensing does far more to actually reduce gun violence than just background checks alone. Don't get me wrong, HR 8 is a great bill. We support it, but we need really licensing to have higher standards of gun ownership.
It is a conversation, one that will surely continue here for quite some time in this country. Penny Okamoto from Ceasefire Oregon, thank you for joining us on AM Extra this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, one of the reasons gun control is back in the national spotlight is because of these two shootings that have left 18 people dead in recent days.
Ken Body has the latest now from the shooting in Boulder, Colorado. Ken, good morning.